This is probably one of the questions I get asked the most. How do I know which weight to use? Or how do I know if I'm using the correct weight? Strength training is a muscular contraction or movement against external resistance. In the previous video, we discussed the movements, and so now you'll need a type of resistance. This can be your own body weight, but it can also be resistance bands or free weights like dumbbells or kettlebells. If you're in the gym, it's likely you have a good variety of weights to choose from. But when we are at home, we might have only one or two weights available to us, or we may have to get creative with household items. However, you'll find a set of dumbbells or a couple different weighted kettlebells to be one of the best investments for your health. Weights can be called load, resistance, or even sometimes intensity. And another word we'll get familiar with is repetitions or reps. Reps are the number of times you do a full cycle of exercise, usually an up and a down. As a side note, there is another type of exercise where instead of doing reps, you hold the exercise. In this case, instead of counting your reps, you would time your hold. These exercises increase your strength and your muscular endurance. Of course, building muscular endurance is important, especially for some of our postural muscles. So back to choosing our weight. Most guidelines recommend starting with 8 to 12 reps with good form. Let's take a simple example. After we are familiar and comfortable with our body weight movement, say our squat, we're ready to add our external resistance. Now, with every new exercise, our first choice of weights will have to be a guess, or simply using the weight that's available to us. As we spend more time strength training and getting familiar with our capabilities, our guesses will become more educated. You'll notice that you'll probably be able to use much more weight for larger, lower body muscles when compared to the upper, smaller body muscles, and that's to be expected. Let's first try with guessing. So if I guess 5 kgs and I can do 12 repetitions of the squat, let's ask ourselves these questions after our set. Was the last repetition hard to complete? Could I have done at least 2 more? If you can rate the last repetition as easy to complete, or if you think you could have done at least 2 more, the weight you are using is likely too light for you. We can use this weight for the next 4 to 6 weeks, but after that, we'll want to think about obtaining a heavier weight. Now, that 5 kg weight might be the perfect one to start off with in another exercise, say the shoulder lateral raise. So if I do 5 kgs and struggle to do the last repetition, this case, that 5 kgs is perfect for me, and I'll stick with that for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Let's try with what's available to us. So say I only have a 10 kg weight at home, and I can only do 6 repetitions. This situation is absolutely fine. In this case, if that's the weight available to you, you'll work your way up to 12 repetitions. So if you can only do 6 reps right now, stay consistent and performing your strength training twice a week, you'll soon see yourself getting stronger, and eventually you'll be able to perform more repetitions than when you started. So, with each 1 or 2 sessions, try doing just 1 more rep. You'll be at 12 reps before you know it, and you'll need a heavier weight.